Group mind. The herald is a highly collaborative form. Each member of the group needs to be harmoniously working with the others, and the best herald teams are intellectually, physically, and emotionally in sync with one another. Basically, group mind means that all of the players on a herald team are working toward the same goal by opening their awareness and creating one group mind that encapsulates each individual. It is e pluribus unum exemplified. Players use the intelligence of the group and the ideas of the group to create something bigger than the individual members. Achieving a group mind requires setting aside your own ego and critic and giving yourself over to the team. Following others' ideas, supporting and building upon them, and doing whatever is required in performance are all part of the group mind and constitute a 180-degree turn from the solitude of a stand-up. Players begin to anticipate what their teammates will say and do because they are connected to one another and therefore are able to make connections in the piece that might not have occurred to an individual isolated player. In short, it means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Listening and reincorporation. Everything said on stage is important. If improvisers are accepting ideas and building upon them, it is only natural that listening becomes vital to the process. Improvisers know that anything said on stage can and will be used again later in the herald. Taking an idea, phrase, or something else and repeating it throughout the piece, known as a callback or reincorporation, is at the heart of performing a herald. The form is about making connections, so listening to what is happening and then using and reusing that information becomes the backbone of the structure. Listening is the root of agreement. Yes, and supporting your partner, and group mind. Justify. There are no mistakes in improv. Everything that is said is important to the scene because the players work to justify everything that is said. If a player enters a scene carrying a potted plant, it is the responsibility of everyone to justify why that plant is absolutely necessary to the scene. Throwaway or mistake. The herald teaches players to embrace mistakes and make them a part of the action. A mistake is only a mistake if it isn't used. Justification also works to support your partner by making his or her ideas valuable by honoring them. By valuing ideas and making them important, players help to turn their teammates into poets, artists, and geniuses Halpern and Close believe we all can be. Truth in comedy. I.O. espouses that the truth is funny, asserting that we're funniest when we're just being ourselves. Sitting around relaxing with friends usually inspires far more laughter than a tea sitcom or someone tells jokes. Howard Kim Howard Johnson urge former to be more receptive to, but they cannot empathize sincere. Ultimately, it comes down to play it completely straight. The basic premise is that honesty and sincerity generate the richest and most humorous scenes. As the Groundlings founder, Gary Austin argues, improvisation is not necessarily comedic. Rather, it is simply telling the truth, your own truth, and the truth of the character. The result often laughs, but funny is a task.